In the bottom left, playing Pistil, we have Mastro up against Spacefront, aka Martin, playing Nuru. Okay, that's interesting.
So, I have maybe too much to say about this.
I've heard that Spacefront thinks Nuru is actually a lot stronger than everybody else seems to think.
I think that against certain matchups on certain maps in certain time formats, Nuru can be at least viable. But I think that Spacefront is overestimating Nuru due to how far ahead of other people they've been getting with their prep.
Yeah, I think that's an entirely fair thing to say. We're going to see how that plays up against Pistil, who a lot of people consider one of the better commanders right now.
I wish I had recorded this, but I had this amazing Pistol game where I was playing Balder, and I couldn't do anything against Pistol. Every time I attacked, my entire army would get lightninged. It was amazing.
That is the way of Pistil, I guess. But, you know, Pistil does have weaknesses. Like, if you don't have good targets to lightning, you know, the groove just doesn't really do anything.
This is true. I think that that's a rare situation, but on this map, it actually does happen. This map encourages more disparate groups of units, unless you get clumped by your barracks.
Yeah, I could definitely see it being like the barracks breaker. Okay, and so far, ooh, actually interesting, the gate's gonna get hit. Nothing too big. I mean, the dragons come out. We've been talking about this for a couple games now. Spacefront really likes the early dragon on this. Nuru actually being very aggressive here, and Nuru, that makes a lot of sense because you could, you know, turbo an archer at the front, turbo a spear at the front.
And this is this other thing that Spacefront does really well. In addition to their primary attack with their commander, they have a secondary attack with two swords that somehow managed to flip a village you didn't even think was threatened.
Oh yeah. That is very much crossing the center threshold. And Mastro is actually being very defensive here. Even builds a golem in front of the barracks.
Personally, I think if Mastro had the gold, they should have gone dragon here. Building a golem into Nuru used to be good, but in this situation where Nuru can just hit the golem herself and there's not a lot of army yet, it's a little too early to have a golem. It's just not going to get you a lot of value.
Looking at this circumstance where Nuru is just standing on a road in front, and there's not really anything Mastro could do to stop this. And yeah, I think Spacefront's just very much out-positioning Mastro right now. And really doing a lot of good pressure on these fronts. Gate goes down, are we going to see like Harpy at the top, or...
Did Mastro remember to redeem their lumber mill?
I'm not sure. Oh, is this going to
Yeah,
be a dead
golem
golem?
just instantly dies. That's what I was saying. You shouldn't build it there.
Oh, yeah, that's really unfortunate. And
The thing is, golems are late game units. You don't want to build them early game where you don't have much fighting the commander. They're just going to immediately go down.
yeah, there are certain maps and circumstances where you want to build a golem early, but yeah, this is not it. And Mastro is just losing so much territory. Alright, takes the dragon down at least, which that's super important because, you know, the tower's on a road. You don't want to lose your tower. Okay, Pistol's going to run up, do a bit of damage. I don't know if this is going to be the best follow-up in the world. Oh, alright, gets a crit on the spear. Pretty good. And it's doing a little bit of damage here and there, but Nuru... I think Nuru really likes this kind of position. Oh, really nice sword crit suicide there,
That was
actually.
beautiful.
And is Nuru just going to camp the barracks? I guess there's like a little bit of a threat of us around here, but...
Oh, wow. And then uses the mage to block the flamingo so it can't get in, because flamingos can't jump over castle walls. That was a perfect play. That was perfect.
I'm wondering if the wagon's gonna go to the left. Oh, not the exact tile I thought it would go on, but that is actually a pretty good placement for it. I guess Nuru's just gonna kind of camp this spot, sit here, kill everything that comes out of the barracks. But Mastro's not out of this yet. There's definitely room for potential, especially with a tier 2 pistol groove locked and loaded.
If Mastro can last long enough, that pike line is not going to do well against a pistol groove. But Mastro doesn't have anti-pike units, which means Spacefront doesn't really have to group them together just yet.
Ooh, barracks is gonna go down. There's nothing to break Nuru. Even chucking the wagon and a mage shield. Oh.
And what's really crazy is the wagon partially healed last turn, as if it knew it was going to get mage shield this turn. I just don't have words for some of the stuff Spacefront does sometimes.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of planning multiple turns ahead, which some people do, but I think a lot of people do that in prep. Spacefront's one of the few players I think who does that in a live game format. Okay, we're starting to see this army on the left get thinned out. Nuru doesn't have tier 2 yet, so are they just gonna have to back up?
Well, Nuru doesn't really need tier 2 groove on this map. I mean, we could just see an archer get summoned to try to deal with stuff.
Very true. Okay. Just gonna slowly escape, I guess would be the best way of putting that. That is actually pretty spooky being near a pistol and 2 enemy knights. 3 enemy knights even.
Look at the formation Spacefront has. No more than any 3 units, not including a village, are together. You could link them with your own units, but it's not easy.
Oh, well, you say that. Let's see how this is gonna go. Okay, pretty good damage. Really injures that harpy. And we're gonna see like a lot of cleanup take place here. Ooh, nice pickup. Mage gets cleaned out. And I like that, goes for the village. I guess like recognizing that just hitting Nuru isn't gonna be the best option there. And what comes now? Just a bunch of damage. Nuru being really aggressive. This is some very aggressive commander play. Oh, and uses all of the transports to block.
That knight is done now.
Oh yeah, it's very, very dead. I guess it could potentially break the wagon, like in combination with that spear. Oh, that sword comes forward.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of threat on the stronghold though, I'm just realizing now. With Nuru groove as well actually, so yeah, Mastro recognizes, hey, I actually need to block here. And is that going to be tier 2 coming out? Oh, it will be in a minute. Hits with the dragon first, interesting.
Consider that Nuru tier 2 groove requires 400 groove charge. This means that Spacefront doubled Mastro's groove charge over the course of this game.
Yeah, something around that anyway. Alright, we got the discount on the barracks. Are we gonna see double golem this turn? We are. Nuru getting maximum stonks there. And oh, how do you fight double golem dragon? That is the question. I guess Pistil is one of the commanders that could in theory do it.
Yes, Pistil is one of the commanders that could do it. But you kind of need an army, and I'm not sure if Mastro's very separated army is up to the task.
Here I come.
They're gonna pick up some more dogs. And actually getting on well on their way to another groove. 32%, yeah, finishes off the knight. Even hits the mage. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You really don't want to lose the dragon to a mage. Which, if that spear could get cleared, would actually be an option. Okay. The clearing begins.
Spacefront was actually a little over aggressive here, considering that they could have waited for the golems to arrive before starting a fight.
Maybe just wants to force the issue. Alright, Mage Heal comes in. Gonna pick up. Oh! Doesn't kill the dragon. I thought it would. Mage crit not quite as strong as I thought it was. That is a very weak looking dragon. Okay, is this
Oh no.
suicides? I think so. Yeah, nicely calculated. And in this format, where you have the option to... Honestly, if... I wouldn't even get a damage calculator out. I would just rebuild the map with all the units in the right place.
That's what I usually do.
And play it out. Because, yeah, Spacefront has as much time as they need to do this. And... Swords? I mean, I guess, like, this is the unit they have available, so...
Yeah, and then just Nuru Dragon. I mean, there's more than enough damage. What? Oh, Spacefront's trolling now.
Yeah, well, the dragon's super injured, so... Yeah, this is actually the right amount.
Oh yeah, you're right. I missed its health bar. That's a good game.
Nicely played there. Forces Pistil to overextend in order to clear a unit to be on the defensive, and yeah, that was a really good game. That was actually a genuinely, like, very brilliant game, I think. Both players playing excellently. Spacefront, I think, had a bigger lead at the start. It was definitely able to push and get economy, and then Nuru able to put a lot of pressure on the barracks, but Mastro did a good job defending.
Mastro did a great job defending. Like, I think that the statistics, like 23-20, 20-24, it doesn't show how much of a dominating lead Spacefront had all game. Mastro staying in there that long was really impressive, because Spacefront had pressure, and Mastro didn't. That was a big difference, and Mastro still kept fighting, kept it relatively even for such a long time.
Yeah. And I guess, like, the main thing there is when you put people into positions where they have to make misplays, essentially, to defend correctly. Like, or I don't know if it's misplay exactly, but, like, putting your commander in a place where it's vulnerable to getting killed in order to, like, hold your own and hold off your opponent. Then that is also, like, another thing that's telling, is, like, that wasn't necessarily Mastro just, like, making a big mistake or anything. That was, like, Spacefront forced Mastro into doing that because they would fall behind otherwise. But, you know, one thing that we don't really see on this end screen is there's two golems from Spacefront walking across the map to potentially come and end the game as well. So Mastro had to clean up what was there in order to stay in, but yeah. Yeah, we got Master in chat saying the game was starting to be playable, but like, because the attack actually started to fizzle out. But then there's two golems behind, so. But that was an excellent game. I really enjoyed that, and we're gonna go on to the next one.